Welcome to Sterling High School. Rob Strauss alongside Rich Conroy and Kevin Schulz as Sterling Channel 19 presents high school baseball between the Sterling Silver Knights and the Collingswood Panthers. Beautiful day for baseball here from Somerdale, New Jersey. And Rich Conroy back in the broadcast booth. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. It feels good to be back doing what I love to do.
Should be a great matchup here this afternoon, as looks like McGoldrick going to be taking the mound for the Knights here today. Sterling coming in the game undefeated at 7-0 and really turned some heads here in the conference early on, Schulze.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they've had one of their best starts probably in about 10 years. I mean, you guys know about the great teams of the early 2000s, I believe 2002, 2003, around there. But, you know, you can't say this was a total surprise, because you could see, or just talking to the coaches in the beginning of the season, they really felt good about what they were seeing. First off, they had pitchers that were throwing strikes and getting people out, keeping the ball in play, not a lot of walks, and they really hit the ball well too. I mean, you know, when you beat a Haddonfield team 14-2, like they did a couple weeks back, that just shows you how well they're hitting the ball and tells you all you need to know about their offense.
And Ryan McGoldrick going to take the mound today for the Silver Knights, entering the game with a 2.52 ERA, appearing in 2 games, and just some really great numbers across the board for the entire pitching staff so far. Obviously at a 7-0 mark, looking to go 8-0. Don't know when the last time Sterling started the season 8-0, and like you said, Schulze, was probably about 10 or so years ago. But a great start for the Silver Knights to the season.
Yeah, I know Coach K really likes the way Ryan McGoldrick throws strikes. Has a nice curveball, but I think probably they said his best pitch is that changeup, that off-speed pitch that really can fool hitters. And you know, when you can hit your spots and use that changeup in an effective way, it adds up to the type of pitching performances we've been seeing from him at this point in the season.
As the teams get ready to take the field here, as Sterling's still getting their warm-ups, Collingswood getting here just a little bit later than usual. This giving some extra time to warm up here, I believe. But a great day, wind coming, moving not too much of a factor today, right to left as we look at the flag, and there's really not I don't think it should be a factor today, but just a gorgeous day for baseball.
And this caps off really a big week for Sterling. Going into this week, they were playing against Overbrook, Gateway, and now Collingswood, of course, winning those 2 games against a very good Overbrook team, a solid Gateway team. So this was definitely a big week, and they're looking it off to cap this week at going 3-0 here at this point.
First up to bat for Collingswood, Alex Irwin, the center fielder. Looks at strike 1.
It's a good location for that fastball.
Yeah, inside. Yeah.
Ball outside. It'll be 1-1 to Irwin, the center fielder. 2 Irwins on the Collingswood roster. Alex is up to bat now. Scott Irwin's going to bat in the 5 spot.
Great location with that fastball. Keep that down low.
You can see that from the get-go here. As you had said, Rich, the first pitch inside. Even the ball was close, but a little bit away.
There's a curveball in the dirt.
And a lot of times you see a young pitcher just content just to get the ball right over the plate, and they'll lay one out there. But, you know, Coach, again, he likes McGoldrick's change-up curveball, but the location and to paint the corners is one big thing. Is we look at the strikeout right there.
That's a great way to lead off a game with a strikeout.
So 1 down here in the top of the first, and that's a great start for McGoldrick.
Looks like he's got some movement to the fastball, and he's got really good control, hitting the spots, live down that low region into the strike zone. That's all you can ask for.
Foul tip back to the screen, 0-1. A lot of room here at Sterling High School between home plate and the backstop, so any pass ball not going to have not much chance to get any kind of runners if it gets away from the catcher. Alec Metrione up to bat now for Collingswood, the left fielder.
Very nice off-speed pitch. It's one of them things, Strauss, when The catcher has to be able to block the ball when runners on base, no matter what the situation is. It's just that huge area behind the plate. Like right there, that's a beautiful block by Smith. Throws it down, cords out number 2. It's one of the things you've got to be able to block the ball at Sterling. If you cannot block the ball, you will not hang in with catching.
And that's especially important, especially if you're a pitcher that might have a breaking pitch that you want him to fish away at down in the dirt. If you don't feel confident about that catcher blocking it, in a key situation in the game with runners on, you might not be able to go to that if you don't have that confidence in the catcher's ability to block the plate or block the ball.
Chris Michael, the shortstop.
Great pitch, strike. It's one of the things you have to have confidence in them pitches when you want to throw them in the dirt. 0-2, 1-2 counts, you got to be able to go to them. And if you don't have the catcher back there to stop it, your confidence level goes down. Then you might start hanging some pitches. You might just rely on your fastball more. And everybody can hit a fastball. It's one of the things. Can you hit a changeup? Can you hit a curveball? And it's the confidence that really plays key into the pitchers.
The 1-1 pitch to Chris Michael, the shortstop, fouled off, so it'd be 1-2. And McGoldrick off to a great start early here, striking out the first 2 batters, and now he's ahead of Michael here, 1-2.
And it looks like in addition to the change of speeds on the changeup does have some movement also.
It's
not
just
a
diving
lot,
down.
But just enough, again, to keep the hitters off balance.
The 1-2 from McGoldrick. Just outside, be 2-2. Close pitch.
That was
really
very
trying to
close.
paint the corners here early for McGoldrick.
It's a good thing. You don't see a lot of sophomore pitchers trying to hit the corners. They're more just worried about just throwing the ball over the plate, but seems like,
A ground ball right back to McGoldrick for the easy out.
Good play.
And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, none left on as we move to the bottom of the first inning. Sterling and Collingswood scoreless. We're going to take a quick break. Back for the bottom of the first right after this. And welcome back to Sterling High School as we get ready for the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Panthers and the Knights as we take a look at the starting lineup for the Silver Knights. McGoldrick going to lead off. The pitcher, followed by Teasdale at third base. C.J. Hertz is going to DH today. Christian Walsh is batting cleanup at first base. Andrew Matola left field. Ryan Smith, the catcher, will bat 6th. Brett Mealy, shortstop, batting 7th. Connor Walsh batting 8th in right field, and batting in the 9th spot, Ryan Sylvansky, second base.
I think when you look at this lineup, obviously the things that stick out at you are the job Teasdale's done at 538, and you see C.J. Hertz coming in at 435 when you're looking at the averages. But again, I think one thing I think the coaches really like about this lineup is you have good balance throughout. There really isn't, that easy out that a pitcher can count on in the bottom part of the lineup. So they're really balanced throughout, and again, that's one of the many reasons why you're looking at a 7-0 team at this point.
what I really like about the game, how it's changed when they factor in the new bats, like no more composite or 2-piece bats. Now they switch to the BB core. It actually shows you who can hit the ball. Yeah. So it's basically just hitting with wood. I mean, anybody can go out there and hit the ball 300, 400 feet with a regular aluminum bat, but this BB core actually shows you that you have to work on your fundamentals. You have to get on top of the ball. You have to be able to drive the ball. And it's one of those things that I'm more impressed about. We have such good hitters now in the lineup. Like Teasdale, I announced the game last year, and I was like, he was batting a whopping 167, and now this year he's having an incredible season right now.
Over
batting
600.
Yeah, batting 538.
538, yeah.
That's incredible, And it's with BB core bats. It's not with the composite bats.
On the mound this afternoon for the Panthers is number 21, Morris Smith. As he pitches to the opposing pitcher, McGoldrick, as one gets away there, it'd be 1-1.
I know. Just to add to what you were saying, Rich, I coached the local, the youth level, and in the league we're in, they were outlawing different bats as late as the middle or latter part of March, and a lot of the people in the league were saying, don't get a bat, don't go out and buy a $300 bat in February because it could be outlawed, it could be a waste of money.
Yeah, I went up to a practice for, I think it was the 12 or 13-year-olds up at Stratford, and that day a kid came up to the plate and was just hitting bat in practice, and one of the kids was like, that bat's illegal as of yesterday.
Wow.
And the guy was like, I spent $300 on this bat, but you can't use it.
Right.
It's a safety issue.
Sure.
And it definitely cuts the playing field in half. You definitely know who can hit the ball with these bats. And that's the main thing. Safety and an even playing field.
The 2-2 to McGoldrick.
No, down
Or
low.
3-2, excuse me, 3-1 rather. And that'll be a leadoff walk to start the bottom of the first.
You know, really where it gets dangerous is when you look at the Division I college level. You have guys that are first-round draft picks and are pretty much professional players or future major league players. Those guys up there, you're 60 feet 6 inches away from them. And I mean, if they really hit one right on the nose, you're in the pitcher's man. You're just hoping that it doesn't come at you because there's very little time to react.
The aforementioned Eric Teasdale up to bat now as Paul is in the dirt, and that's going to move McGoldrick to second base. And now you have a runner in scoring position for a guy who's hitting .538, and that bodes well for the Silver Knights.
It's definitely not a spot you want to be in if you're Collingswood. Like I said, that backstop and then balls in the dirt are definitely going to come and be a factor in today's game.
And that ball bounced well in front of the plate, too. I don't think the catcher really had any shot at that one. The 1-0. Right down the middle for a strike, and you had to think that Teasdale's taking all the way there.
The pitcher hasn't really showed much control, so you got to wait and see if he can throw you a strike. It's a good move.
The 1-1 delivery.
Doesn't look like the pitcher's following through that much. He's leaving everything high, or it's just in the dirt. He's snapping too. He's letting it go too far, or he's holding the ball too long.
And Teasdale having a great year.
He's not going to bite on that.
Here with in a nice hitter's count at 2-1 here.
In the dirt.
Low again, and Morris Smith falling behind Eric Teasdale right now. You got to think at this point, do you pitch around him just to get him on base? I mean, the guy's hitting .538, so important pitch here from Morris Smith, and it's driven into center field, and it's going to be caught by Alex Irwin for the first out.
Yeah, Teasdale really hit it on the nose, and you can just look at him. He just looks like a confident hitter.
He's playing with a lot more confidence.
Waited to get his pitch. He got his pitch right there, hit it on the nose, but sometimes you're going to hit it right at them. But, you know, and I think the coaches are really, you know, you look at average, that doesn't tell you anything, but one thing you hear about him is how he's just really hitting the ball with authority. I know I was at the Haddonfield game, and he really drove a couple and had a couple doubles deep into the right center field gap that he really hit with authority.
Now that brings up C.J. Hertz, the DH, as he looks at strike one. C.J. Hertz coming off of a magnificent pitching performance the other night in a win. Obviously getting some rest from the pitching arm right now, so C.J. Hertz is facing an 0-1 count with a runner in scoring position. One out here in the bottom of the first. Pitch right back to the pitcher and Morris Smith, and it goes over his head, and that's going to score a run. C.J. Hertz is going to move over to second, and now going for third, and he's going to get in with a stand-up. I guess we'll call it an error. It's obviously an error on the pitcher, but it scores a run, and Sterling gets out to a 1-0 lead.
See, these are the things you have to execute. You got to take your time. No, you don't have a fast runner in C.J. Hertz. Take your time, walk the ball over, make a good throw, or stuff like that happens, and this could be detrimental for Collingswood, especially this early in the game, especially when you've seen how dominant McGoldrick was in the first half of this inning.
And that's where if you're a right fielder, you really have to, I think he might have hesitated a little bit, you have to get over there in a hurry.
Exactly.
Because there's such a big area over there, and especially with, you know, the runner over there.
And they intentionally put on Christian Walsh.
So intentional walk now to put runners on the corners for the potential double play, as we have one out. And that's going to bring up Andrew Matola, the left fielder. 1-0 Sterling on a throwing error by the pitcher, Morris Smith. And what looked to be a routine ground out to first base is another pitch low and in the dirt, and C.J. Hertz is going to stay where he's at.
I know Andrew Matola was having a good year last year until he got hurt. And he's just one of them kids who can hit the ball. I don't think his average really reflects how good of a batter he is. Very patient up there, waiting for his pitch. Now he's got a 2-0 count. Got to expect fastball. So what do? Do you make him throw a strike, or do you take a little hack at it? If it's close, I'd be swinging.
So runners on first and third, 2-0. Pitch to Matola down in the dirt, 3-0. And
now you're taking
Matola is taking all the way. And on deck is Ryan Smith.
It's going to be a big spot for the freshman. If it is bases loaded with 1 out. See if he can capitalize, make a name for himself.
The 3-0 to Matola. Right down the middle, 3-1. Still a hitter's count here for Matola. Runners on the corners. Sterling already out to a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. The 3-1.
Oh.
Again, right at the knees for a strike, and the count is now full.
And that's not a bad job. That was a pitcher's pitch right there. Might have been a little low. In a 3-1 count, you still want to be looking for your pitch.
Exactly.
Make the pitcher work.
Popped way up in the air, mile high, the shortstop going back.
Oh.
And Michael, and it says it's caught by the shortstop there. As the run scores, there'll be an RBI for Matola, gets the run in.
That was a great job.
Hard to see if he actually caught that ball out there.
That was a great job by Hofsane. You know, shortstop falling over the left fielder. You send him, it's going to be a hard throw. You get up, you're off balance. Not going to have that much time to set your feet. It was a very good call sending him on that one. Wasn't hit too far, but you see that little mistake? No communication out there between the left fielder and shortstop. You got to back off that ball.
And that's where everybody in the field's got to talk.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you fall back, you're down, but that's just a good heads-up play right there.
And that puts you up 2-0 in the first inning.
So now Ryan Smith up to bat, the freshman. Runner on first base in Christian Walsh on first base. Right down the middle for strike one. No hits, but 2 runs for the Silver Knights. Fouled off. It'll be 1-1.
Ryan Smith, the kid who I know they really think highly of coming in here as a freshman. Another kid who can hit the ball with authority. But at the same time, when you're coming in as a freshman, I mean, going against varsity pitchers, it's definitely an adjustment period. But so far, he's really done the job. And, I mean, having him start a catcher just tells you how much confidence these coaches have in him.
The 1-1 from Morris Smith hits Ryan Smith, and that's going to be put runners on first and second. So definitely not the start Collingswood was looking for here on the road against an undefeated team. They're definitely in some trouble here with runners on first and second and 2 out.
And this is what Sterling's been doing this year. I mean, they start off, got the leadoff hitter McGoldrick on,
Yeah.
get him on, get him over to second. Probably the most impressive thing I like is that, you know, when you have a pitcher that's missing but not missing by much, they're laying off a lot of those pitches, making them work. And when you do that, you kind of get the pitcher into a frustration level of frustration where he really starts to label and struggle. And I think we all know how much pitching is really as much between the ears as it is about what you have on your arm and your physical abilities.
Oh, it's definitely, I would say it has to be 90% mental, 10% of your talent. It's if you don't keep that cool head out there, I don't care how good you are, you're not going to be a successful pitcher. If you're living inside your head and letting things get you and you're worrying too much, you are not going to survive as a pitcher. You just have to go out there, not get frustrated, and throw strikes. There's a high chopper.
And Brett Mealy.
And over his head, sails.
Thrown away there by the shortstop.
2 runs will score on this play.
And that's going to put Brett Mealy on second base with an error on the shortstop. So 2 runs come in on the error. And now it's 4-0 Sterling here in the bottom of the first. And Sterling is just about to bat around here.
Yeah, this is one thing. You're playing a Sterling team that's playing well. You can't give them runs.
No.
A couple throwing errors here, allowing Sterling to tack on a couple extra runs. You see ground ball to third.
It was a high chop. And it was a high chop.
And a drive out to deep left field. And it's going to be a foul ball.
All right. It's one of them things as a pitcher, too. I mean, you see him out there, and he looks very frustrated, but he's got to shake it off, and hopefully your defense can make the plays behind you. You got to let them errors go, and you got to keep pitching your game. I mean, there's just nothing really much you can say to even help the pitcher and stop his frustration level, but it's not him. The team will make plays behind you. You just got to keep going out there and throwing strikes. Once you get that in your head and you lose faith in your teammates, everything's going to go downhill. You just got to keep a clear head and stay positive.
Connor Walsh up to bat now for the Silver Knights. And he lost one, pops to the second baseman, and shortstop calls it off and makes the catch, but not before the Sterling Silver Knights get 4 runs on no hits and several errors by the Panthers. We move to the the top of the second. Sterling up 4-0. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Sterling High School as we get ready for the top of the second inning. Sterling out to a 4-0 lead here against the Panthers of Collingswood. Up to bat now for Collingswood. Jake Tackett, the catcher. Sterling got out to that 4-0 lead thanks to a pair of errors, a hit batsman. No hits on that. He left one as a shot right goes through the legs of McGoldrick. Able to get picked up there, and it's not in time. And that'll be an infield hit for Tackett for the first hit of the day for the Collingswood Panthers.
Threw a fastball down the middle and hit it back right where it was pitched.
Mealy gave it a shot, and good scoop there by Christian Walsh to try and get the runner. Is just about a step and a half ahead.
Nice breaking ball for a strike.
Scott Irwin, the right fielder, now up for Collingswood. The 0-1.
Another. Oh,
One high.
Little wide. Little wide.
The 1-1 from McGoldrick. Rifled back at Christian Walsh,
nice
and he
double
steps on the
play.
bag for the double play.
Things like that happen when you have a game where you're up 4-0, everything's going your way. And a nice play by Christian Walsh, getting the double play right there.
Great awareness there by Christian Walsh. As we take
place at the
another
right time.
look at it here. And another play over to Christian Walsh. Bobbles it momentarily, but McGoldrick able to get over to cover for the third out. And a 5-pitch at bat, or 5-pitch performance here from McGoldrick as we move to the bottom of the second. 1 hit. And welcome back to Sterling High School as we are in the bottom of the second inning. Sterling leading Collingswood 4-0 here. A real quick top of the second. And that brings up the final batter of the batting order for Sterling, and Slovensky.
I'd like to give Coach Larry a shout out. I just found out that this is his 8th millionth baseball game in his long, industrious 2,000-year career.
Ryan Slovensky hitting 182. Looks at ball 1 high and inside. Slovensky, McGoldrick, and Teasdale due up in the bottom of the second.
Sounds like hits to me.
And a rip to center field, giving chase
On the run.
is Alex Irwin.
And it's
Not able to
over
make the
his head.
catch, and it's over his head to the fence, and he's going to leg it in for a stand-up triple. Lead-off
piece of
stand-up
hitting right
triple for Ryan Slovensky.
Told you it sounded like hits.
All the way to the fence. And I think the center fielder was just playing a little too shallow for the 9-hitter.
That's what happens, you know, they get into that thing like, oh, 9-hitter you can't hit. Don't leave a pitch like that. You can't leave a fastball down the middle like that.
Top of the order now for the Knights is Ryan McGoldrick with a runner in scoring position. McGoldrick walked his first plate appearance in the first.
See if Sterling can get another run out of this.
High ball 2.
That looked like one of the better pitches. But yet again, I am not a paid umpire.
That's why we pay the big bucks here, Rich.
Exactly. Here we go.
2-0.
That's a strike, right at the knees.
Right at the knees. Good pitch there by Morris Smith, who had a really rough first inning. Teammates didn't really bail him out with a couple errors, and Smith actually had one of the 2 errors in that first inning. High and outside, ball 3. Now 3-1 to McGoldrick.
It's great when you can establish the leadoff hitter on base. Possibilities are endless when that happens.
The 3-1. Ripped into right field.
That's
going back and not able to make the catch is
McGoldrick
Scott
is on his
Irwin.
horse. That's another error.
And that's
he's coasting into third base.
McGoldrick's going to stand up. Oh, no, he's
going to sit down. He'll sit down.
He'll sit down.
You know, it was a
he
long
needs
run.
A rest. Yeah, he needs a rest.
There's the pitcher, you know. Give him a little break.
And that'll score the run. Slovensky scores, and now it's 5-0.
Maybe the wind played a factor in that one. So I know when he hit it, the wind did start blowing.
We take another look at it here. Is see McGoldrick legging it out here. Didn't really have to work too much in that top of the second and on the mound there.
And the
had the extra energy
of any fly ball, even if it's close to you not being sure whether you're going back or not. First step is back. A lot easier to come up on a ball, and you'd much rather have the ball fall in front of you than behind you, not have him get that extra base or 2.
And we'll score it in
cases.
Score that an error?
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Even though, I mean,
E9, for those of you scoring at home, brings up Eric Teasdale, who lined out to center field in the first inning.
It is 0-1, or 1-0, I'm sorry. 1 ball, no strikes to Teasdale.
Teasdale fouls it off the plate.
And we got 1-1.
Teasdale trying to keep that spectacular average up. Dipped a little bit there on that line out to center field. He might be around the 530 mark now.
Ooh.
He's below the Mendoza line.
Oh, no. Albert Pujols would be proud.
The 1-1 from Morris Smith. Down in the dirt. Great job by the catcher, Jake Tackett, to block it. As Ryan McGoldrick was really looking at home plate there.
Sterling's like a shark in the water. They smell blood. They just want to keep going. It's one of those things. You feel good. You're scoring a lot of runs. You got a lot of confidence. And then you just try to take some chances. But you also have to be smart at the same time.
2-1 ripped foul down the first baseline.
I finally got the hearing back in my left headphone, too. That was a nice little shock right there. I am awake.
2-2.
And I lost it.
Will be the count to Teasdale with McGoldrick standing on third base. Pitch check swing foul down the third base line. Count will remain at 2-2 with C.J. Hertz waiting on deck.
Yeah, Teasdale's been pretty selective at the plate, but obviously he's not happy with himself on that one. Really wanted to hold off on that one, being a little high and inside.
Again, the 2-2 pitch to Teasdale. Check swing foul again. Nice pick up there by in the on-deck circle by C.J. Hertz. Way to look alive.
That might even hit the handle of the bat.
Nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Already 1 run across on the leadoff double by Slovensky. Came in to score on a throwing error. Excuse me, on the error to the right fielder, who initially came in on the ball and then backed up and was, like you said, Schulze, as soon as you do that, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Collingswood, if they made a couple plays here, you could be looking at only a 2-0 game as opposed to a 5-0 game.
Oh, Teasdale goes down on strikes, thought it was high and outside, and he goes down looking for the first out
the
of the
umpire
evening.
called that before it was even caught.
Yeah. Definitely looked. I mean, you could argue that it was right at the waist, but it looked. And obviously in our situation here, we're looking for the catcher reaching out. it's about the best way you can judge it, and it definitely looked like, if anything, it was a little bit wide.
And we're in a tough angle here as we are to the left, off the left shoulder of the umpire, as C.J. Hertz is up to bat now, batting .435.
The good
He
thing
reached
is,
on an error in his first at bat. Sorry, Rich.
I'm sorry, no, I said the good thing is there was only 1 out. So,
True.
you know, still 1 out, runner on third. Got to tack on some more. I looked at it on the screen, definitely looked outside to me. I would have laid off it. I think anybody probably would have laid off that.
And a rip
CJ slices.
slicing foul, and just by about 1.5 feet down the right field line. And as soon as I came off the bat, that thing put on the blinker and started going on to
Yes,
the
it
right
did.
there.
That's a real tough one if it's fair, because you know with the way it's going, it's going to hit the line, go off to the right.
And go up that
and
little
that's where
hill.
you can
Yeah,
get
and then
that,
you run for
get
days.
those extra bases.
The right fielder is playing way off the line. CJ's a good hitter. His placement is very good.
1-1 to C.J. Hertz with a runner on third. Goldrick seems like he's been standing over there for an hour. Good job to lay off the pitch there by C.J. Hertz.
That's one of those things you kind of worry about with these long innings on offense, how it's going to affect your pitcher.
Yes.
With your pitcher, you know, running like that. But one advantage McGoldrick has is he's not a strikeout pitcher. He's going to throw a lot of pitches. He pitches to contact, allows him to put the ball in play, and you know, he hasn't thrown a whole lot of pitches to this point.
2-2 now the count to C.J. Hertz. And ripped right up the middle for a base hit. That's going to score a run. And now Sterling increases their lead to 6-0 as McGoldrick crosses the plate.
Real nice job of hitting there by C.J. Hertz. That's what they call just hitting the ball where it's pitched. Don't try and reach out. And if you do that, you'll hit the ball with authority. Sometimes people like to, you see younger kids like to pull off pitches, pull everything. But C.J. was just in that at bat, hitting the ball where it was pitched. He had the one on the outside part of the plate. He hit down the right field line, and that one right there was just right down the middle, maybe it's a little bit to the outer part of the plate, and hit it right back up the middle.
Christian Walsh up to bat now as he looks at ball one in the dirt. He was intentionally walked in the first and later on scored.
Number one rule of being a good hitter, you have to be able to hit the ball to all parts of the field. Wherever it's pitched inside, pull the ball, hit right down the middle, hit it right back where it's pitched, or if it's outside, you got to take it to right. That's how you separate the good hitters from the average hitters.
Ripped foul down the left field line.
I mean, you try pulling an outside pitch, you're most likely just going to pop it up. You're going to hit it weakly to the right side. You got to go where the pitch is.
Yep. And that's it. It all starts with not pulling out that front shoulder.
Exactly, keeping your shoulder down and driving right through the ball.
The 0-1, or excuse me, the 1-1. Down low would be 2-1.
As a coach, what do you say to Collingswood after this inning? You definitely got to give a nice pep talk. You don't want the game to get too out of hand. You know, the 6-0 lead in high school, anything can happen, but got to have a little pick-me-up speech after this.
Christian.
Yeah, and I think it points to them just making the fundamental plays. I mean, a ball comes to you, don't be in a hurry to rush everything. Set your feet before throw, and I think that's what happened on a couple of those throws. They were just rushing the throw. They didn't set their feet, and you have the throwing errors.
And Christian Walsh strikes out for the second out of the afternoon, and that will bring up Andrew Matola, who had lined out or popped out to shortstop that scored a run. So credit the RBI.
Let's go, Andrew.
So 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. C.J. Hertz on first base as he looks at strike one. C.J. Hertz getting a nice lead off of first base, and the throw over well late, and C.J. slides in easily. 6-0 lead here for the Knights.
This inning, Smith has actually pitched very well. You know, picked up 2 strikeouts.
Yeah.
His changeup was great, the Christian Walsh. The first one he threw, and then the second one just died right away. I mean, that's very great on his part that he's actually turning his frustration and putting it to good use.
The 1-1. Ripped towards short, takes a funky hop there, and able to step on the bag himself is Michael. And that'll do it for the second inning. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on. We're going to move to the top of the third. It's 6-0 Sterling. Back after this. And welcome back to live action as we are in the top of the third inning. Sterling leading 6-0. And 1-1 to the 7-hitter, the pitcher, Morris Smith. And McGoldrick gets him to strike out.
That was
a great pitch.
Strikeout.
Yep. McGoldrick is just dealing right now.
That changeup is deadly. That changeup is just coming in and right off the end of the table.
His 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. And that will bring up number 44, the 3rd baseman, Paul Lunny. It's been 3 up, 3 down in each of the first 2 innings for McGoldrick.
Good shot. Low at the knees for a strike. I mean, you got to live down there. You've seen the one hit that they had was a nice fastball right down the middle of the plate, drove it right back to the mound. There we go. And a check swing for a strike.
And McGoldrick already ahead of Lunny, 0-2. And it's exactly what he's been doing the first 2 innings.
How high do you think his confidence is right now?
It's got to be great right now, especially after that. We have a 5-pitch inning in the last inning.
And you strike out 2 guys in the first inning.
And a shot right over to shortstop. Takes a funky hop again. It seems like the end of that infield grass.
Yeah.
The ball takes a really, really big hop, but great job by Brett Mealy, the shortstop, to bring it over to Christian Walsh for the out. So we take another look at it. Great job there by Brett Mealy to look it into the glove, even though it did take that really, really weird hop. That's the second time we've seen that this afternoon. But either way, it's 2 outs now. And that'll bring up the bottom of the order, Brett Kuchera, the 2nd baseman.
Quick 0-2 count again. McGoldrick is way ahead of these batters right now. And that's what you have to do. You have to work ahead. You got to throw strikes, get them into your counts.
Low and away. Good job by Kuchera to stay off that pitch. And a rare ball for
0-2, you got to throw it. You're
Yeah.
not going to just throw that fastball down the middle.
the 1-2 from McGoldrick.
That's a beautiful pitch. Oh,
Just outside. It'll be
Just
2-2. Trying to paint that outside corner.
yeah, 2-2. 2-2 to the 9-hitter.
The 2-2. Hit foul off the plate. Rolls towards the Sterling dugout. It will remain 2-2. Only 1 hit so far allowed by McGoldrick, and that was to the leadoff man on the 2nd inning, and Tackett, the catcher for Collingswood.
I wonder what he's going to throw. I haven't seen him throw the curveball yet this inning. He's mainly strictly fastball changeup. Maybe he throws the big hook.
2-2.
There it is.
And there it is, just like you called it. And there's actually a foul tip there, but nonetheless, a strikeout for McGoldrick, his 4th of the afternoon. 3 up, 3 down for the Knights. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on as we take another look at it.
That was a beautiful curveball.
McGoldrick with 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. Sterling still leading 6-0. And welcome back to Sterling High School. Sterling leading the Collingswood Panthers 6-0 as we move to the bottom of the third. Rob Strauss alongside Rich Conroy. Kevin Schulz had to take off. He had to do some coaching duties of his own. A 2-man crew here.
Love coming out on days like this.
It's a great day for baseball, as we mentioned earlier in the Open. Just a beautiful, beautiful day.
Beautiful day for some ball.
Especially when Sterling's up 6-0 here. Ryan Smith hits one deep down the left field line. It's going to be foul. You're looking at Ryan Smith hit by a pitch, his first at bat in the first inning, followed by Brett Mealy and Connor Walsh.
So much confidence in this freshman. See what he can do in this at bat.
The 0-1 to Ryan Smith. Popped a mile high up to the pitcher. Morris Smith calls it off and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Usually the pitcher doesn't go after that. He lets somebody else do it, but
It was right in front of him. You didn't have to move too far
he
for
didn't
it.
have to move. And he probably doesn't want to take a chance with one of his teammates. You know, this six-run deficit, if you guys are just joining us at home, it's mainly been, there's been a few solid hits by Sterling, you know, scoring some runs, but the first inning, when they were up 4-0, it was a lot of errors, walks, the little things that you have to cut down in the games, but, you know, Collingswood's still fighting. Smith is still fighting, so see what happens. One gets away from him.
And believe it or not, only 2 hits on the afternoon for Sterling, but they were able to manufacture 6 runs. Most of those are coming on errors. Only one, I guess, true RBI off of a base hit from C.J. Hertz in the second inning. The other was a sacrifice fly by Matola in the first.
Pitch high to Mueller.
Brett Mealy reached second base on an error in the first. A lot of these balls from Morris Smith down low and in the dirt.
You got a 3-1 count now. Morris just has to take a deep breath and just throw a strike. That's all you really can do. In these situations and you're down big, you just got to throw strikes. Throw strikes and pray something's going to happen.
The 3-1 down the third base line, foul, just out of the reach of Paul Lunny, the third baseman. And full count now to Brett Mealy.
Brett Mealy batting a solid 364. Probably dipped a little from his last at bat, but yeah, that's good numbers for the shortstop.
The 3-2 fouled away. Will stay 3-2.
Took that one off the end cap. This is good, though, because Sterling is actually making Morris Smith work, and that's what you need to do as a team. Make that pitcher work. Make him throw strikes.
The 3-2 delivery. Popped a mile in the air again to the left side. And dropped in foul ground. Fortunately for the third baseman, Paul Lunny, just outside, and hit him right in the heel of the glove there and popped out. So
another error.
It's going to bring Brett Mealy back to the plate.
It's just one of them things, like, it's looking at Morris Smith pitch and seeing his body language, it's the frustration. See if he can.
And
chance
ripped
for
again.
redemption.
Paul Lunny makes the catch this time. Good call on the redemption there as he pops out for the second out of the inning. Brett Mealy's 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
But
that
he
brings
made him
up
throw one more pitch than he needed to.
That brings up Connor Walsh now, who also popped out the shortstop his first at bat. Swings at the first pitch. Will be 0-1. Seems like after the first inning, Morris Smith has really settled down here, especially in this inning.
He's throwing a lot of strikes. He's throwing a lot of good pitches that are making the hitter swing. And that's what you have to do as a pitcher. Be deceiving and throw pitches right over the plate. Some are getting away from him, but, you know, Sterling's also not showing much discipline this inning, swinging at some bad pitches, but, you know, it's all working in the Smiths' favor.
Walsh rips one to left center field, not able to make the catch. That's going to fall in for a base hit is Connor Walsh. Good diving attempt there by Alec Metrioni, but it falls in the gap there. Good effort by Metrioni, but it'll be a single for Connor Walsh with 2 out.
Kept his hands right inside the ball and just wound up getting one to drop. But it was a very good effort by Metrioni. Ball high.
That brings up Slavensky. Ryan Slavensky tripled his last at bat and eventually scored a run to lead off the second inning. 1-1 now to Slavensky after he looks at strike one with Connor Walsh on first base. Ball in the dirt. Great job by the catcher, Tackett, to wrangle that ball in. Otherwise, Connor Walsh would be standing on second base.
Very good effort on blocking that ball.
Seen a lot of balls in the dirt today by Smith, even in the warm-ups. As Ryan Slavensky lifts one foul down the right field line.
Nobody will get to that.
No chance for that one. For anybody to get that one, it would be 2-2.
See what Morris does. I'm going to predict a change-up in the dirt.
You're 1 for 1 on predictions there, Chief.
Let's see if I can go 2 for 2. Oh.
And it's a strikeout to end the inning.
Curveball. Nice pitch.
For Morris Smith, that's going to be his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on as we move to the top of the 4th. Sterling maintains a 6-0 lead.
We are back live at Channel 19. Top of the 4th. Fouled off by...
It's Alex Irwin. Yeah, Alex Irwin's going to lead off with Metrioni and Michael due up in this top of the 4th here. Fouled off again and into the maintenance bin.
I think his first pitch strikes is about 86%. I didn't see him fall behind. Only time I seen him fall behind. Actually, I didn't see him fall behind yet to any hitter.
33 pitches on the afternoon. Make it 34 for Ryan McGoldrick. And we're in the 4th inning.
Well below the average of pitches per inning. As Coach K was telling us, it should be 15 pitches per inning, and he's well below that margin.
Outside again, evens the count at 2-2. Alex Irwin struck out his first at bat in the 1st inning.
See if we can get a new Collingswood team in this second half of the game.
And Irwin rips one into right field, and making a running, diving catch there is Connor Walsh for the 1st out. Great job by Connor Walsh to track that ball down. That wind seems to be playing a factor. It seems to be swirling around a little bit. It seems like in the beginning of the game it was coming from right to left, and now it's coming from behind us, as you can kind of hear in our microphones. It is blowing out now, and great job by Connor Walsh to track that down.
Here you go to first pitch. Popped up
right near us. That's going to go out of play and into the stands for a souvenir.
Just kidding, throw it back. McGoldrick again ahead.
Shocking.
I am in awe.
The 0-1.
Curveball. Very good pitch, but high.
Metrione struck out his first at bat as well in the 1st inning. 2-1 now to, 2-0.
No, 2-1.
2-1?
2-1. You're right, 2-1.
Way to pick me up. Nice work.
That's why we're a team.
Yay, team. The 2-1 from McGoldrick, swung on and missed, strike 2.
In this situation, you have to throw the fastball. He was way behind that one. Throw a fastball, just blow it by him. They'll try to get fancy. And it's good because he's very deceiving with that changeup in the fastball. There we go.
And lifted into shallow right field. Connor Walsh underneath it again for the 2nd out of the inning.
Things you have to notice as a freshman catcher is the batter. If the batter's behind on a fastball, you don't want to throw him something off speed to where he can actually make contact to. Just blow the fastball right by him. That's a very big learning step that Smith is going to have to learn. If they can't touch the fastball, throw the fastball. Don't throw something where they can get their timing down, they can get on top of.
Batter now is
Oh, spoke too soon.
Chris Michael, the shortstop, grounded out to the pitcher in the first.
First batter, I believe he is down 1-0 on. Comes back strong.
And chopped over to the third base line, Teasdale. Nice catch there by Christian Walsh to tag the runner for the out. Again, a 3-up, 3-down for the Silver Knights. Scored 6-3 if you're scoring at home. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. We move to the bottom of the fourth. It's still 6-0 Sterling. We'll be back. And welcome back to Sterling High School. Story of the afternoon so far has been the Ryan McGoldrick show here, as he's faced 12 batters and retired all 12 in a row. So
in a row, yes. There was one hit.
One hit.
Sorry for you viewers at home.
Yeah.
Thinking you were coming in and hearing about a perfect game, but you did let up one hit.
Great double play by Christian Walsh as we are back to live action. McGoldrick lifts one into right center field, and it is dropped. The fourth error of the afternoon by the Panthers, and that's going to put McGoldrick on second base.
I mean, I'm sitting here, and it's just, I feel bad for the coaches and the pitcher, Morris Smith. There's just nothing you really can do at this point. You got to make the plays, and Smith is just out there pitching, honestly, a relatively good game.
Sure. Take another look at the replay here as
you see the
lifted
center
into
fielder and the right fielder running, and he just drops it. Just takes concentration off, and that's another thing. You're not talking. I didn't see anything. The center fielder lay off. He slides. You distract the right fielder, and the right fielder drops the ball. He just took his eye off the ball because he was worried about getting slid into by his teammate in center.
So that puts McGoldrick at second base with Teasdale up to bat. He struck out in the second and lined out to center field. Questionable call at his last at bat as he looked at strike three as he takes high and inside for ball two.
This game honestly reminds me of the game that we played in my sophomore year, my JV year of baseball, when we beat Collingswood 37-7. I believe we scored 25 runs in the first inning just on errors. I mean, you have to execute errors. It's not that drastic, but I'm saying the emphasis on cutting the errors down.
And Teasdale a little bit ahead of that pitch as he rips one down the right field line, but well foul. Out ahead of that one. And we said this during the break that, you know, you eliminate the errors from this game, and you maybe have a 1 or 2-0 game here.
Exactly. I mean, there was that one ball, you got the sac fly, and then you got the base hit, but that's really it. It should be about 2-0 Sterling.
2-1.
Coming down to a pitcher's
down low,
duel.
3-1.
But you tack on all the errors, you tack on the walks, and the miscommunication, then you're down 6-0. What they should be happy about is it's not bigger,
right,
the deficit.
Sure.
6 runs off of 5 errors isn't really that bad. It could be a lot worse.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a hit batsman. Looks like the ball skipped and hits Teasdale.
Second hit batsman of the afternoon, and that will put Teasdale on first. McGoldrick remains at second base for C.J. Hertz, who singled and had an RBI in the second and also reached on an error in the first.
Collingswood does have a big win over Haddonfield, but I heard Sterling also destroyed Haddonfield. It's just one of them games, you know? You come to play or you don't come to play. It's hard to tell right now. I mean, it's still early, but you're running out of time. You got to do something. You can tell by Morris Smith's facial expressions that it's just not his day out there.
The 1-0 to C.J. Hertz. Hertz rips one into left center field. Getting underneath it there and making the grab is Metrione as the runners do not advance. As we take another look at the replay, Rich.
There's a solid stroke down in the left field, you know? Just got under it a little bit. McGoldrick fakes like he's going to third, draws the throw, and that's all she wrote for that one. We got one out in the bottom of the fourth. Runners on first and second. Stepping in is big Christian Walsh.
Well, she struck out in the second, was intentionally walked in the first. Walsh struck out on a nasty changeup.
Yeah, that changeup was
That
beautiful.
changeup was filthy.
The first one he threw him when to get the second strike was just,
Yeah.
wow. I was like, okay, I'm very impressed. Way out in front. And now misses with the curveball. 1-0.
So runner in scoring position for Christian Walsh. Let's see what he can do here as he looks at ball 2.
The changeup low. This is a perfect RBI opportunity for Christian. See if he can get a hold of one. Base hit should score McGoldrick from second. Hopefully move Teasdale over to third with the throw. Oh,
Throwback there, trying to get Teasdale, or excuse me, yes.
no,
McGoldrick, excuse me, McGoldrick. Teasdale's on first, trying to get McGoldrick. Cheating a little bit off second base, just barely able to get back in time.
That was a great move.
It's close.
From this angle, he looked out, but, you know, umpire's got a better view than me. That was just a really good move. Ball in the dirt.
Ball in the dirt, that's going to move the runners up.
McGoldrick and Teasdale are going to advance one base.
McGoldrick actually looked at, he was about halfway home and then decided otherwise. And with a 6-run lead, you don't really need to, and one out, you don't really need to play with that because now you have runners, both runners now in scoring position.
This is a big opportunity for Christian Walsh with one out. I mean, a deep fly ball does score a run, but a base hit scores 2. They extend that lead going into the top half of the fifth. What I would be doing, try to hit the ball down and hard.
Steps off.
I believe the count is 2-0, correct?
I believe you are correct, sir.
Just making sure.
The 2-0 to Christian Walsh. Again, down low in the dirt. Great job by Tackett.
I'm sorry, it was
So it was
3-0.
3-0. So now you got the bases loaded for Andrew Mottola, who is 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
It's a big spot for number 24.
First pitch, fastball, rope it. Look for the perfect pitch. Rope
So bases loaded for Mottola. There's an RBI in the game.
High fastball. Taking all the way on that, of course.
Just one out here in the bottom of the fourth. And you'd have to think a base hit here would really almost put this game out of reach for Collingswood.
Coach K telling them to be aggressive. Go out there. If you like the pitch, you got to swing. And I like that, you know? Jump on him. Don't sit back, wait for the walk. If he gives you that pitch right down the middle, take a hack at it.
2-0 to Mottola with the bases loaded, one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Right down the middle for strike. It's 2-1.
take it to right center, outside pitch.
The 2-1 delivery down low for ball 3. And now Morris Smith in some trouble here.
Give it a rip. Don't look for a
No margin of error right now as all the bases are packed.
You can't be really looking for a walk in this situation. You got to, I mean, it's always nice, but Smith has been showing some control lately. I mean, minus a few bats this inning, he's been pitching relatively well. You got to be up there and you got to be ready to swing the bat. You just can't have it resting on your shoulder.
3-2 to Mottola as he steps out.
Andrew, focus and hit with
Smith is going to battle with you, so let's see what he throws here. Got to be ready to swing.
The 3-2 pitch with the bases loaded.
Oh.
High and inside, and that's going to score a run.
good. Come on, Ryan.
One out and bases loaded. One run scores. It's 7-0 Sterling stepping in.
So as we resume play for Ryan Smith, there's one out, bases loaded. And right down the middle for strike 1. Again, to recap, Teasdale at third, Christian Walsh at second, and Andrew Mottola on first. Ryan Smith, good job to lay off that pitch there as he thought about swinging. 1-1.
It's Chris Mazzone. He was brought in as the pinch hitter.
Oh, it is Christmas zone.
Chops one.
Zone chops one over to short.
They
and
get a
able
run.
to score the run as Zone.
That's a really heads-up play by the shortstop. Going to third, his momentum's taking him that way. You never know. On a day like today, try to set your feet and throw home. Might have not had Teasdale, and it was just a good play to go to third with that one. Here's a replay. We got a chopper to shortstop. Momentum bringing him to third base side. Throws it over to third. Retires Walsh.
That scores Teasdale. So now you have runners on first and second with 2 out.
Brett Mealy already in an 0-1 count. Took a big hack. The first pitch, and here we go. Quick 0-2 count.
Mealy popped out to third base in the third and reached on an error in the first, but got stranded at second.
Working quick and no swing on that one. Mealy has life in a 1-2 count. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Sterling leads 8-0. 2-2 count. Lunny is definitely working quick out of the stretch. We'll see what happens.
Connor Walsh on deck for the Knights. And a rip by Brett Mealy to center field. And that's going to be caught by Alex Irwin, but not before Sterling puts 2 more runs on the board. 2 runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on as we move to the top of the 5th. It's 8-0 Sterling. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Sterling High School. Sterling leading 8-0 here as we move to the top of the 5th. Rob Strauss alongside Rich Conroy. And the catcher, cleanup hitter, Jake Tackett up to bat now.
He has the only hit for Collingswood today. Single up the middle, infield single. Mealy gave it his best try, tried to bail out McGoldrick, but...
And grounded in, or lined into that double play right to Christian Walsh in the second.
Another ball. McGoldrick falls behind.
A few times this afternoon that we've seen McGoldrick fall behind.
He's been doing a spectacular job retiring the leadoff hitters, so let's see what he does. Comes back, throws a strike. 3-1 count now. See if he can battle back, get another strike on him, or at least make Tackett swing the bat. Here's the pitch. Oh, blows the fastball right by him. Strike 2. 3-2 count, it's all full.
And we talked about this, you know, I think it was in the second inning, how much confidence McGoldrick has right now, especially with those short outings that he had in the first and second innings.
Oh.
And the first walk of the afternoon issued by McGoldrick will put Tackett on first base. So the leadoff man is on, but the Panthers still trail 8-0. And that will bring Scott Irwin to the plate. Irwin lined out and started that double play. Lined it right to Christian Walsh.
Oh, no, ball outside, sorry. That was going to be a strike over the outside corner, but we have a ball. McGoldrick, probably not tired, you know, just let a few pitches get away from him. His pitch count is relatively short today with these quick innings he's been having.
And a rip into shallow center, giving chase is Brett Mealy, not able to make the catch. It's going to drop in for a hit.
And he got him. Great play by Mealy.
And great job by Brett Mealy. Good awareness to throw out Tackett going to second base.
That's one of them plays you just try to sell it as much as you can. Act like you got it. You watch him throw his glove up last second. Then he turns around, throws a bullet to second. It's a great job. Nice psych out play. You see that a lot, throwing their glove up, even when they don't have it, just to hold that runner, just that half second that they need.
That brings Lucas Rollins up to bat now. Rollins grounded down to first baseline to end the second inning.
It's a beautiful strike over the inside corner.
Inside corner.
Fastball really coming to life in the later innings.
So Scott Irwin on first base. Goldrick trying to pick off Irwin. Not going. One 0 in the dirt.
Great block by Smith. Keep that runner staying put. I'd like to see a nice old-fashioned double play.
I like it. Dial it up.
Let's get a 6-4-3 going.
The 2-0. Ripped over the head of Mealy this time. He's not going to fake anybody out with that. Gotten nicely there by Matola, who throws it in, and that's going to be the second hit of the afternoon for Collingswood, and that will put Irwin on second, and Rollins is in with his first hit of the afternoon.
We got one out, and we got a runner on second. Collingswood threatening this inning. Looks like their bats came to life. They're starting to figure out McGoldrick. You know, it was a just good piece of hitting. Stayed inside the ball, hit it the other way, and now you got runners on first and second.
Now pinch hitter in there now, number 14, Matt Myers.
And he takes a strike right now.
Will hit for Smith.
Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Try to the ball.
So runners on first and second.
Great curveball. Makes him bail out of the box. Myers bailed on that curveball. It was a really, really nice Uncle Charlie right there. Quick 0-2 count. One out. And, bottom, or I'm sorry, the top. And that's a strikeout on 3 straight pitches. 2 great curveballs to retire Myers. Now we got 2 outs. Runner on first and second. Bottom 5. Top 5, sorry, top 5. I'm messing with you guys now. I apologize.
Keeping things confusing for us, huh?
I know, right?
Nice job.
Got to keep you on your seat. You know, that's why we pay these producers the big bucks.
5th strikeout of the afternoon for McGoldrick, as he is now going to deal to the third baseman, Paul Lunny.
Who came in to throw solid 2 outs. Retired the Sterling Knights in the last half of the, or the bottom half of the 4th.
Grounded out to Brett Mealy in the in the 3rd inning. So we'll see how McGoldrick does from the stretch. Almost gets Lunny to go.
Another really nice curveball. He's definitely got it working for him today.
The 1-1.
Fastball a little low.
2-1 now. First real danger that McGoldrick's been in pretty much all game. And it's going to be interesting to see how he responds to that.
I am done making predictions because I don't want to say anything. But there we go.
Lunny definitely went on that one. That's going to even the count at 2-2 with 2 out. Irwin at second and Rollins at first. However, the Panthers are staring at an 8-0 deficit here in the top of the 5th. The 2-2. Right at the knees.
Rung him up.
And Lunny goes down looking, and that's 6 strikeouts on the afternoon for McGoldrick. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. We will now move to the bottom of the 5th. Still 8-0 Sterling. We'll be back right after this. To Sterling High School, bottom of the 5th here between Sterling and Collingswood. Sterling out to an 8-0 lead, albeit only on 3 hits through 4 innings here. And Rob Strauss alongside Rich Conroy as we again enter the bottom of the 5th inning. Due up for the Silver Knights, Connor Walsh, the 8-hitter, followed by Ryan Slavensky, and then top of the order with McGoldrick.
We go to key points of the game. Key points of the game today is definitely Ryan McGoldrick staying ahead of the hitters. working in good counts, getting strikeouts, and the defense behind them. And the other keys is Collingswood beating themselves with errors, walks. I mean, I think they have more hits now than Sterling does. Sterling only has 3, and Collingswood had 2 hits last inning, so they might be tied. But it's just been the Ryan McGoldrick show. Just doing a great job out there on the mound.
And fouled out of play into the JV softball field behind us. And it'll be 1-2. Sterling just 3 hits on the afternoon. Again, able to manufacture 8 runs on 3 hits.
Something good going on behind us.
Yeah,
Still in the lacrosse game.
Lacrosse game behind us. Obviously something good happened, as we are wedged in between the baseball field and the lacrosse field. 1-2 now to leadoff hitter Connor Walsh.
Oh, and he's
hit again. That's the 3rd hit batsman of the afternoon. Connor Walsh now 1 for 2.
See where he takes this one off of. Oh, it's all right. Right off the meat, he's all right. Right off the padding. He'll be fine. Just don't rub it. Stepping in right now, we have Ryan Slavinsky, who hit a triple earlier in the game. Nice bomb shot over the center fielder's head.
Yeah, 1 for 2 is Slavinsky with the triple and a strikeout in the 3rd inning. Not all in the same inning.
No.
Triple in the 2nd, and a strikeout in the 3rd.
Just takes a strike there. Ball's behind 0-1.
0-1 to Slavinsky. Ball in the dirt.
Connor Walsh stays put. Nice block by Tackett.
Tackett doing a great job tonight behind the plate defensively.
Oh, yes. For the most part, he is. He's blocking a lot, not allowing the runners to move. Slavinsky hits it down.
In the hole, and that's going to be the 2nd hit of the afternoon for Slavinsky, and that will move Connor Walsh over to 2nd. So 2 on, 1 out now for the top of the lineup in Ryan McGoldrick. McGoldrick reached on a pair of errors, and he walked. So and McGoldrick scored 3 times. Every time he's been on base, he's scored.
That's what you want out of your leadoff hitter. I mean, you want him to score runs. It's like Jimmy Rollins. Ball in the dirt. No outs. Runners on 1st and 2nd. See if McGoldrick can cash in. Help his own calls out there a little bit.
The 1-0 to McGoldrick.
It's a little nubber off the plate.
So 1-1 now to McGoldrick. 8-0 in the bottom of the 5th.
The only
Chance to really tack some runs on here.
Oh, yeah. The only thing that McGoldrick hasn't done today is driven in an RBI.
Yeah.
And, hey, it's just the kind of day. Is this his chance? Oh, takes one high.
Really high.
Over the head. That'll get you awake. Who needs coffee when you got a fastball coming at your head? I'll still stick with my coffee in the morning.
Yeah,
I don't know about you.
I'd be okay with that too. If I had the choice of the two.
Of course, I'm taking the coffee.
I'll take the coffee. Thank you very much.
Oh.
And he hits McGoldrick.
Hopefully he didn't take that in the elbow. I don't know. He's running down there like he did take that in the arm.
He took that in the, looks like the left arm. And first base coach Tad Kozaneski. We'll see if we can take a look at the replay here.
Oh, right in the tricep, looks like. Give him a little stinger. Go numb for a minute.
Coach Hoffman's going to come out and take a look at.
Let's see where it gets him. Yep.
Yep.
Ooh.
Right on the inside, of the top part of the forearm there.
That's not going to feel good tomorrow. It's a tough kid. He'll be all right.
And we were talking about this also during the break, is how much longer is McGoldrick going to be in the game? And from a pitching standpoint, you have to wonder now if he got hit in that arm, if he's even going to come in to pitch the 6th at all.
Right now, the question is, with no outs and Sterling having bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th,
You sub him out.
Is there going to be another inning?
Yeah. Now, obviously, looks like Coach Hoffman went over to go take a look, and apparently he's okay.
That's always good news, though. That's always good news. You see so many injuries for pitchers, you know, when they're out there and getting hit in the elbow, hit in the arm. You know, it's good to see he's all right. I didn't have my doubts. He looks like a strong kid, so. But do you take him out?
I guess it depends on how many runs you manufacture here. This game's been pretty much all Sterling from the very beginning.
From the gate.
So now you have bases loaded for the team's leading hitter, at least percentage-wise anyway, in Eric Teasdale, and he's due.
He is very due.
Lined out to center in the first, struck out looking in the second. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the fourth.
I know who I want up in this situation, and it's definitely be Teasdale.
And I think he'd like to get some redemption for that strikeout in the second when he went down looking. He wasn't too pleased about that one.
Takes it high. 2-1 count, I believe, right? 2-1? 2-0?
I believe so.
2-1.
2-1.
All right, there we go. I am on top of it today,
Nice
folks.
work.
You know, I'm being very attentive today.
The 2-1 pitch.
In the dirt.
Down low, 3-1. And now you have Paul Lunny, the third baseman, now playing in the pitching spot, and he's in jeopardy of walking in a run here.
You can tell by his body language he is frustrated also.
Now you're Teasdale here. You looking for a pitch or to drive, or are you just taking all the way?
Oh, that's not the pitch you want to go after.
And he swung at ball 4.
That is true. So
any type of contact here should score a run unless, you know, obviously an infield pop-up.
Be patient, Hammer.
Here, Coach Larry, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He's more of a legend than the Jersey Devil in South Jersey.
The 3-2 to Teasdale. Hit right down the right field line. That's going to score at least 2. And it gets through the legs of the right fielder, and it looks like Teasdale is going to go into second with a stand-up double, and they're going to hold McGoldrick at third. So a 2-run double for Teasdale.
That looks like the game. The 10-run rule is in effect. Trying to figure this out. The umpire goes. And the 10-run rule is in effect. Sterling wins the ball game.
And that's going to do it as we take another look at it.
And he was due. You were right about that one. He was due. Smoked into right field. 2 runs scored, and that's it. That's it for Sterling.
And a 10-run rule in effect as Teasdale knocks in Connor Walsh and Ryan Slavensky to cap off an amazing afternoon for the Silver Knights. Wasn't able to muster many hits. In fact, they scored 2 runs in that inning on 1 hit because of the two-hit batsman in that 5th inning.
You get the bases loaded and you make something happen. Sterling comes out on top, 10-0 over the Collingswood Panthers. And there you see the final score: Sterling 10 and the Panthers 0.
So the Sterling Silver Knights will move to 8-0, a perfect 8-0 on the season. You have to give some credit also to the great pitching performance by Ryan McGoldrick.
Definitely the player of the game.
6 strikeouts, 5 innings. He only gave up 2 hits. As we take another look at the, I guess a walk-off 10-run rule by hit by Eric Teasdale into right field. And we mentioned this earlier when that right fielder was playing so far off that right field line. I think Mr. Schulz had mentioned that earlier, that he was playing so far off that line. All he has to do is
just got to get it down there.
Just get it down there, and good things will happen. So Sterling improves to 8-0 as they beat Collingswood 10-0 here this afternoon. McGoldrick 6 strikeouts, and offensively, he did it at the plate as well. And that'll do it for us. I'd like to thank all of our Channel 19 crew. Did a fantastic job producing this game. And I'd like to thank Mr. Schulz for joining us earlier. Mr. Conroy,
It's always a pleasure.
Nice work.
Always a pleasure. Can't wait to be back for another game.
Nice work all the way around. For everybody here at Channel 19, I am Rob Strauss. Thanks for everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Channel 19. Have a great night.
Take care, Sterling.